Welcome to another edition of No Boundaries, the podcast. This is my first evening edition, so cheers to all of you. And I am so excited about my guest. I'm such a fan of her. Her name is Kaya. She's the co-founder of one of my favorite podcasts, Bravo, We're Black, together with Aaron. I am so excited to have you in my own little podcast, Kaya.
Thank you for inviting me. First of all, I want to thank you for not only being like a listener, but also you are a stark social media supporter. Like you are always in the likes, in the comments, in the DMs, and that is very important. I really appreciate it. It helps with the engagement. It helps with everything. It's so nice to like meet you face to face because we've exchanged messages multiple
Yes.
times. And when I saw that you were launching your own podcast, and especially when you did the mother and daughter thing, I'm like, I love this. I want more people of color, women of color in the podcasting space because baby,
Yes.
it's hard out here for a pimp.
It's hard out here for us pimpy black girls. No, and that is actually how I found you. So I moved to the United States with my family almost, I can't believe it, like 7.5 years ago. And during the pandemic, I started listening to way more podcasts. And I was always sort of like, well, I'm listening to like the news and, intellectual podcasts. It has to better my mind. In the pandemic, I was like, F that. We're gaining weight, we're drinking, I'm listening,
Yes.
watching crappy TV. And I was watching so much crappy TV. And then I realized there's a whole world out there of amazing podcasts that, make that crappy TV completely worthwhile. But what I found, of course, easily on, on the easy apps was all white people. And I was like, where are my black people at? So I literally started searching for like, okay, Bravo Universe Black, Pop Culture Black. And then that's how my first search, I found Bravo We're Black.
Thank God Google is doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, like we are in there like somewhere. Like every time I post something, I used to post Bravo while black, Bravo, black, and like obviously we launched during the pandemic. And at first it was me and Aaron, and everyone would always say, "Oh, you guys are so funny. You need to do something together. Like your friendship is amazing. You play off of each other." And we've been friends since literally high school, so over a decade now. So we were just like, well, anyone can have a podcast apparently. So we put out an episode, and then the George Floyd thing happened, and we were like, oh, this cannot be the only thing that we talk about because I mean, people are making things. Don't make things political. Don't make things political. What is political about humanity? And also just being black in America. These things matter. So we're like, you know what? The two things are existing at once. We're watching these shows. We love these women. We love Andy Cohen. We love all of this, but we're also living in a world that very real crazy things are happening. So it would be remiss of us to not talk about things that are important to us and that we live through all the time.
Yeah, no, it's so important. And what I think is amazing is how pop culture and how you and Aaron do it, and especially when you have guests like Kendrick and other amazing podcast people and people who are in the social media space, you always make such a beautiful transition between the fun stuff, but there's always an extra layer or sometimes even 3 or 4 layers. And I love that about you guys. So I think I'm seriously an early adapter, and I've been a supporter also on the Patreon. I'm also one of your
Yes.
Patreons.
Yes.
And I just love what you do. And you definitely inspired me because I did a podcast in the Netherlands, very political and sometimes a little pop culture, but mostly we were 3 women of color, North African Black, East African Black, and me, West African Russian Black. And so we spoke a lot about, serious issues, and only once in a while would kind of like, so I was like, can I do this on my own? I'm in America and my English is bad. But I was like, you know what? We need more. We need more.
Yeah.
We need numbers.
People, like, it's just like with dolls, with TV, with everything. Like, people just need representation in general. You don't have to be perfect. You need to just show up as yourself, and people will recognize, that not only are you showing up, but people will recognize themselves in you. And that's what's like so important. And we saw that there was at mainly Raven, which is Raven James of the Bitches Better podcast. There's mixing with Monty, who was around. But other than that, there weren't a lot of POC in this space. But in the podcast space, is very one white male dominated.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you're talking about politics or if you're just talking about comedy. We need that representation, like, all around.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, cheers to talking to you finally.
You guys, I'm not drinking straight vodka. I'm drinking soju. Shout out to, I'm obsessed with Korean dramas right now. So I'm drinking soju and I am obsessed with it. I'm trying new foods, honey. I'm in a new era, okay? I don't know if you guys have been on Threads, but on Threads a few weeks ago, this was during Black History Month, which is so funny. All the black girls turned Chinese because they really they found out about, like, not medical, but like Chinese things that Chinese people do to keep their skin beautiful, because Asian people always have beautiful young skin, and they have like flat stomachs, and like, so a black girl found out that they drink warm water and they put lemon in the warm water and they put goji berries in the warm water. So it was like a trend that all the black girls were turning Chinese, and then the Chinese girls was like, okay, so then what do you guys do with certain kinds of like skincare and hair care and stuff like that? And it's just like seeing the cultural exchange is so amazing.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I have to get on Threads more. I've been bullied away from Threads because everybody was saying like it's for old aunties, and I am an old auntie, so it's like, but no,
no,
back.
You gotta come back. It's like he who has not been named. That other platform, it's like that other platform now, because so many people have migrated from that other platform over to Threads.
Yeah, good. So from one horrible man, we're at some other horrible men's, but at least it's a little better. By the way, speaking of, healthy, I'm half Russian, so I do drink vodka on the rocks, but with lemon.
That looks so like lemonade, like a.
You can do lemonade, but because I'm like hardcore, this is just straight. I buy like sugar-free lemon juice just in the supermarket.
Ooh, so you have a mixed drink. Like, you are literally at happy hour. That's hot.
So, and also what I wanted to, do you know how they say, I don't know if that's also in America, but in the Netherlands, we have an amazing group. They're called Asian Raisins, who combat anti-Chinese discrimination and anti-Asian racism. And they always say, yeah, black don't crack, but Asian don't raisin.
Yes, exactly. It's just like, it's so funny, like, even especially on Threads, what people learn from each other. And not just Threads, but it actually popularized on TikTok, but I'm not huge on TikTok. Like, the algorithm hates me. I am an Instagram girl.
Yeah, I
love around. That's why I'm always on Instagram. And in Threads, I love Threads so much is because you literally can go on there and you can say, dear algorithm. So you literally tell your algorithm, show me fans of Real Housewives, or show me people who are into talking about like the DNC, or show me more politics, show me the UGC creators. You can literally fine tune your feed to see what you want to see. So mine is all TV shows, K-dramas right now, just whatever I want to see, and then it'll come through. Like, current events will come through, but if you don't want to see certain things, you don't have to. And I think that's so important, because there's so many things triggering for us right now, and no one really cares about that. Like, they'll just put it out there, and you have to see it, and you have to live with it, and it's just, sometimes, of course, you want to talk about it, you want to interact with it, you want to think about it, you want to be in the know, you don't want to be ignorant. But then there are other times when it's like, damn, I did my job. I did everything that I could possibly do to prevent exactly what's going on from happening. So I will see you at the polls. Today, I want to talk about Summer House. That's it.
Absolutely. No, and you can, but I totally agree with you. And do you say that you can literally say it to your phone, hi, bring me to this?
You type in, dear algorithm.
Oh.
And it turns blue. And then you tell the algorithm what you want to see. And then it'll say, fine-tuning your feed. And it will literally fine-tune your feed to people that are talking about the same shows. Or, if you want to find me Black women podcasters, find me people who watch this channel, find me people who are into fashion. It will literally turn your algorithm into what you want to see. And then if you see someone else use that same feature and you're like, I want to see what they have on their feed, you can rethread or repost what they
Ah.
posted, and it'll make your feed whatever they posted about. It's so good. And then they also have different communities. Just like you know how Reddit has communities, it has different communities. They have Bravo threads, they have Black threads, they have health threads, they have book threads. It's just such a place of community, and I
Oh,
just love it so much.
thank you so much. We'll put this, I always bring out a weekly newsletter. So
Yeah.
maybe you can put in a few like fun links or, threads. So let's do that in the newsletter. I'm so excited. So again, because, I'm so happy to talk to you. You're founder, co-founder of one of my favorite podcasts, Bravo. We're Black. It's you and your best friend since high school, Aaron. And you speak about all things pop culture, all shows, and a lot of Bravo shows. That's why it's Bravo, that's a network here in the United States. But I want to start. Of course, we're going to get into your work and everything. But of course, because this, I'm doing these episodes. First, I did with my daughter, the mother-daughter edition. This is the Black Girl Magic edition. I want to talk to like all the incredible women of African descent that I love and admire and meet. I want to start with you, Kea. So before you were like this amazing podcaster and your career is doing really, really well, we will definitely speak about that. What's going on? You were born, beautiful Black baby, from with your amazing mother who you spoke in reference to in your podcast. So tell me, what is your first memory of knowing like, wow, I'm something special, I'm Black, I'm African American. How do you define yourself, and when did you realize who and what you are?
I actually like still don't realize that I have major imposter syndrome, and which you'll never be able to tell because I use my sense of humor to cope. So I was born. I was the last of four kids. My mom was like, I didn't even know that I was pregnant with you. Like, I didn't think that I was going to be having a baby this late. I had three kids already, and you came along. And I was also, I like to say I'm a C-section baby. So C-section babies are bougie. Yeah, so I came along after she had three kids already. So she had three tries. And then with this fourth one, she just really locked in on me. She was able to spend a lot of time with me. And it was also because I have sickle cell disease, which I'm an advocate for. Sickle cell disease is a disease is basically when your cells are shaped differently and they have a hard time passing oxygen through your body. So it gives you different episodes. You have pain episodes, pain crisis, and so many different things can trigger it. So I basically half grew up in a hospital. And I thought that that was normal because it was normal for me. Like I was always at the hospital, and then my mom was like, "Yeah, you were at the hospital, but you're also going to school." So it was just so she made it so normal that I didn't know that I was sick until I was like older. Like this wasn't normal. So I went to a performing arts elementary school, and I'm like, okay, amazing. My mom loved movies, so we always went to the movies. My mom was a teacher, so I went into school already reading. Everything was already boring to me. I'm like, when are we going to get to the good stuff? Like I'm 4 years old, like talking up a storm. They're like, go to sleep. I went to a middle school in where I grew up is not a place that you want to really grow up. It is basically, the hood. And I also wasn't really aware of that either because I grew up very sheltered. I was sick. I was the youngest of four,
The
and I
baby.
lived in a dangerous neighborhood. So therefore, we would play in our parking lot, and I would go inside, and I'd go to school or I'd go to my doctor's appointments and the hospital, basically. So in middle school, my elementary school and my middle school were next to each other. So automatically you go to the elementary school, then you go to the middle school. The middle school, this was a time when the Apple laptops were around and you were able to like this was one of the I don't think it was the first, but it was a magnet school. So we were able to bring laptops home. So I would always like download LimeWire and put viruses on my laptop and all that because it's my laptop from school and it's just so funny. So okay, I had the performing arts. I had a lot of exposure to tech, and then it comes to high school. Um, both my elementary school and my middle school were very not integrated, but there were white and black people there, which was normal. But when I went home, my family is mostly black. I mean, we have some mixed people in there. But at high school, it was like a lot more white people because I went to high school in a Jewish neighborhood. And then that is when I was like, oh, okay, I really am different than, like it's having that realization. And also it gave me like an appreciation because it wasn't just like a mainly white school. It was like a mainly white and Jewish school.
Yeah.
So like when people talk about, and that's why I don't understand why they want to take certain parts of history out of these history books, because I'm so proud to know what I know about the Holocaust. I'm so proud to know what I know about the Trail of Tears. I'm so proud to know what I know about, our history and different people's history. So why would you want to take that away from people? But anyways, knew that I was different then, but this is when I realized that I wasn't meant for a regular career. In high school, it was time to go to college. I had a scholarship because all I knew how to do was just go to school. So college, I had a scholarship. So automatically that first 2 years, you don't have to pick a major. You're just taking your core classes.
Yeah.
So when it's time for me to go, they're like, what do you really want to be? Where can you see yourself working? And it's like, I had jobs and it was just for fun because I really didn't need the money. My mom babied me. I had 3 older siblings, therefore they babied me. Like I was just working just for the shits and giggles, basically. Sorry.
That's great.
They're like, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be? And I'm like, nothing. And I know that sounds terrible, but it's like I could not see myself in any position worth furthering my education in. And that's how kind of it is now, because they didn't promote trade. They promoted you need to go to college. And I'm like, okay, well, I went to college, but now you're asking me to pay instead of giving me a scholarship. So if I'm going to pay, it's going to be for something worthwhile. So I'm like, I don't have anything that I think that I'm good to do. I said hospitality or PR or communications, which is like blanket statement. Everyone is like communications, hospitality. And I'm like, okay, with hospitality and communications, those are places where you can get a job and you can work your way up. So why would I go put myself in college and put myself in so much debt when I can just go somewhere and work my way up if I really wanted to do that? So I'm like, okay, the school thing, I'm done with it. Like, I don't want any debt. I ran up my refund checks is what we called them. Like the scholarship checks were great. Like they gave me so much fun times. I spent so many fun times on that. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. But what is it that I want to do? And I don't want to do anything. Like, even when I was little, like, do you want to be a doctor? No. Do you want to be? I just never wanted to be anything. I never dreamt of working. So they're like, you have to make money, Kaya. What are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know, but nothing regular. So what happened was, with sickle cell, you go to the hospital a lot when it's not under control. So a lot of the jobs that I had, they would be like, we're not firing you because you have sickle cell. We're not firing you because you miss work. We're firing you because we don't need anyone else. We, are already, we already have, enough people. We don't need anyone else. So I'll always get fired, basically. So I'm like, okay, I need to find a job that's at home. And I can see what I'm doing there. I got a job at home working. There's a store called Meijer, and it's not in South Florida, but it's like Walmart. So it's called Meijer. I got a job at Meijer answering the phones, and I would transfer people, and they would think I'm in the store, but I'm not. I would just transfer people throughout the store. And I'm like, wow, I really love working at home. And then I'm like, okay, so I figured out how to work at home. How do I work on my own time and at home? So I went on Craigslist, which you should not do as a young
Where
girl.
is this? I'm getting worried now. Yeah.
I will.
You can
I
work from home and give me 60% of your money and I'll help you. Yeah, I'll help you with great clients.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I'm like, oh my god, this
Yeah,
is
you don't even
allowed.
have to stand up. You can just lay down and work.
Exactly. And I was so. I'm like, what massage therapist? Maybe I should get some massage therapy.
People come to
But
me
there
for
was a woman saying that she has a website, um, and she wanted a writer, and I'm just good at school, so I've always been good at writing. So I'm like, oh, I'm a good writer. And she's like, yeah, but I'm only paying $4 an article. And I'm like, yeah, but if you can write as many articles as you want, then and like each article is 400 words. I'm like, but for school, I was doing it for free. So I might as well do this on the side. So I started writing for this woman. She had a website, and you could just tell that she was really trying to be one of like the pop culture websites. And I didn't really know about that world. So I became a writer for her, and I'm like, this is so cool. I'm writing day and night, trying to get that $4 to add up. And then unfortunately she had to shut the website down because it wasn't profitable to pay me the $4, especially when I'm writing so much.
not even afford. Come on.
I was writing so much, like my checks would be like hundreds of dollars. And she's like, girl, I know you said I know I said you can write how much you wanted to write, but we're not making that much money, so slow down. And then eventually like she had to shut the website down. So I found The Young and the Restless.
Yes, I know that. Yeah, yeah. We in the Netherlands, in Europe, it was always the Bold and Beautiful.
The Boy and the Beautiful and
That
the Young
was
and the Restless.
the show. Yeah, and Another World.
So to this day, I'm a fan of The Bold and the Beautiful and The Young and the Restless, and obviously the new one, Beyond the Gates, because it's black people in that one, so that's really
Oh,
cool to
oh, that's
see.
good. Oh, yeah.
But at that time, this was years ago, I used to literally just, and it was so funny because I'm like a little old lady. I was in my 20s looking up what's going to happen on The Young and the Restless, and it's like, girl, because I had no one to talk to about it. They're like, why are you
Not your
talking about
grandma?
soap operas?
Not
Like, why are
even.
you talking about soap operas? We're talking about love and hip hop. I'm like, yeah, but did you see Victor Newman, guys? So
Victor
I was,
Newman. I know he's still. Is he still there?
yes, and he is a terror. Okay, he is effing
He
it
was
up.
always horrible. Yeah, he was like
Love
literally
him.
the toxic white man that and everybody was fighting for him.
Listen, this is the thing. In real life, he will mess you up about he does not F with Trump. He will cuss people out. Like he even deleted his Twitter because he's like, I'm not gonna be on this mess. Like it was so funny. But anyways, so
Yeah.
like I would always look for what's gonna happen on The Young and the Restless. So then the website that I was looking at, they were like, we need TV writers, we need soap writers, and I'm like, oh, that's me. And this time they were paying $6 per article. So I'm like, wait, I figured it out. Like
Fifty
I
percent raise.
figured it out completely. I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, and I think that that's why I found that job at such a low price because it gave me the experience and
Yeah.
it also gave me the portfolio to apply to this job. And I got that job at the soap opera writing website, and then me and him got into a dispute. Which is so funny because all of our communication was over Skype. So I went to just I just Googled celebrity entertainment news websites and I started working as a writer for
For all
celebrity.
sorts, yeah. So sitting at home, watching TV, pop culture. But Kaya, I still want to know where, because your show is called Bravo We're Black. Tell me about you as when as a black woman. So is this also a story because you realize during your writing, I need to do my own thing because I'm a black woman?
I think it was more my sickness.
Yeah.
It was my illness because that is and also being a black woman.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this episode. And this episode is made possible by AJET Coaching. Yes, my own coaching service. AJET is a West African word for togetherness. And after years of creating conversations about all sorts of topics, about race, about relationship, about parenting, about culture, I want to work together with you to help you stand in your light. Because maybe you're working on your next steps after becoming a mom or after menopause. Maybe you are facing some difficulties at work, trying to navigate through complex systems that were not built for us. Maybe you're having issues with your relationship, with your family dynamics, or maybe you just want to see yourself more clearly. For all those things, I got you, because as an ICF certified life coach, I'm here to help you, for instance, with communication skills. How can you speak even more clearly, maybe sometimes hard to the matter, but always soft to the person without losing yourself? And how do you navigate through those difficult, sometimes intricate, maybe even, borderline racist spaces without shrinking yourself? That's where I come in. So if you are ready to work with me together on yourself, please book a free consultation. Click on the link below and enjoy the rest of the episode. Let's take a few steps back. So you have 3 older siblings. What's the
age difference
yeah.
is literally 13 years, 14 years, and then 20 years. So I don't really connect with them like that. They're like more aunts and uncles.
Parents. So you really were the baby, and your mom put all her research, whatever she had, she could put in you, which makes a friend of mine, a famous director. He's the first African American director ever to win an Oscar for directing. Roger Ross Williams. He's a documentary director. He had the same. So his mom had kids before she was really, really young, and then when she didn't think she would have another baby, she had him, and he is like literally won an Oscar. So that is beautiful. But so your mom never raised you like as a black woman, or was it a black girl, or was it just because of your
always
neighborhood?
being sure
Yeah.
that.
Well, tell me the lessons.
Yeah, okay. So just being black in general, she just sat me down in general and told me how to move. She's like the same. She didn't say it in those words. You have to work twice as hard for half as much.
Yeah.
But she's just like, when she grew up in the South.
Yeah.
She grew up in an era where people were openly racist.
Yeah.
So
Legally racist. Yeah.
yeah. Worse than this though, which is crazy. So she just like, nothing is going to be easy for you, because not only are you black, but you are also sick. You are a sick black woman. And the thing about it is that when you have a disease where you require a lot of pain medicine, they are also going to think that you're a drug addict when it's like you're just in pain. So she's like, your life is going to be really hard. So she didn't really have big dreams for me. So that I didn't have big dreams for myself. She wanted to continue to cover and protect me and wanted me to just stay at home with her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like scared of the world.
So you were kind of almost raised like a nepo baby.
Yeah. Until I was in my 20s, I did not even like. I knew that I was a black woman. I've been through racist experiences, but I just didn't know how hard life was. But like, just being black in general, my mom sat me down from a very young age, because I had a friend. She had a white mom and a black dad, and she was my best friend. And like, she's like, she it's kind of like, unspoken rules that she's like, okay, well, when you go over to their house, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't touch people's stuff, you don't scream, you don't do, you are more well behaved. Whereas when she would come over to my house, she acted like a wild banshee, and she was like, don't judge her, because that's just how she raised. In different cultures, people have different things going on, but you need to always conduct yourself in a certain way, because you're going to be looked at a certain way. So like, I always just knew that I was a black woman, but I just think that since I was raised around black and white people, and whenever I would have racist experiences, I would just remove myself and isolate myself. It just kept, with me. It helped me a lot. But it also, I say it helped me a lot because it helped me like not experience the level of racism that people have to in the workplace. but
Yeah.
it also hindered me because instead of confronting and doing, all these different things, I just removed myself from things.
Aha. So
Like,
because you were so sheltered, you
yes.
had your mom protecting you. You didn't have to like make a living to pay rent or whatever.
Exactly. It's like, you ever watch Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah. Yeah.
When he's like, my man has two jobs. It's like, my mom does not want me to work here anyway. I don't have to deal with this. I'm going back home. I'm
Going
going
back
back
home.
with my mommy. Like, I don't care. And
Yeah.
then when you get older, you understand that you can't be scared of the world. You have to go out and you have to make a name for yourself, and you have to do things for yourself. But like, as a black girl in general, I will say that it was probably before the George Floyd murder. One of my friends, she passed away. She was a white girl. She was my best friend. And her parents were racist, but I didn't know that they were racist because she would always, like, I guess, talk to them before I came over.
But sorry,
So
what year are we talking?
it literally 2016, 2017.
In
Like, her
Florida?
parents were racist. They lived like in a trailer park, and I'm just like introducing myself. I'm being nice. Being very, like, my mom is like, when you go to someone's house, you don't touch this, you don't say that, all this stuff. And then it didn't matter what I did. It's like, the way that I am, I always want to get a laugh. These people would not laugh. These people would not, like, socially chat with me. She would always be like, "Okay, we're here. Let's go." Like, I'm just here to drop off
Yeah.
my clothes. I'm just here to do it. And then I just learned later on that they were, like, racist, and I was just like, what's really, like, going on?
Yeah.
And then I noticed that also, like, looking back, there's certain microaggressions of my entire life that I didn't realize was about race, like the pronunciation of my name, right? They will butcher my name, didn't care about it. You know what I mean? They also, me and my mom, we have different last names. So they, like, yeah, she has a different last name than her mom. Like, it's just certain microaggressions that you look back at and you're like, oh, this was a microaggression. This was straight up racist. This was insane. But I think just like when I knew that I was like someone who could be a, not in it, like an influencer or someone who could be in the spotlight, essentially, was probably when I realized that I did not need to work underneath someone,
Yeah.
that I could work for myself.
Okay, so that's a huge moment, but up until that moment, so as I understand, your mom was very particular, was really clear about how the world works, right? She's from the
Yeah,
South, and you were raised in Southern Florida.
cut and dry.
So this is just how it is. You built your confidence from the protection and your mom being really realistic with you. You're black and you're sick. And because you're spoiled and lazy, you found like a fantastic niche career-wise. But still then you experience microaggressions. Okay, so now take me to that road, especially for other black women listening, building your own, you're making this your own business.
I think that it's worse now than it was when I first started. Like, as
When did you start? When did you
in
start in podcast?
I
Yeah,
started in
2020, right?
2020, me and Aaron, we
Yeah.
put out the first podcast. People listened to it and they were like, when is the second one? When is the third one? We're like, oh, we didn't know that you liked it. So, yeah. So then this was when people were acting like they cared about black people. This was when DEI was the rage. This was when, oh, we're having meetings, we're having specials, we're inviting people on, we're doing collaborations, we're putting people in the room. So it was like really like, oh, okay, people understand what happened. It's bigger than, like, it's police brutality. It's like just inequality all across the board.
Yeah.
They finally
It's
get it.
social, it's cultural, it's
Right.
economical, it's yeah. And that opened doors. So you as a podcast maker, you and Aaron were
Yes.
invited for talks, were invited, yeah.
Yes, exactly. You were thrust into, this person is inviting you on this, and this person is telling you can have an interview with this person, and this company wants you to say something, like, it was open. Then I'd say around 2021, the end of 2021, 2022, people just stopped really actually giving a fuck.
So fast.
So it was just like, okay, now we have to make a name for ourselves because a bunch of people started in 2020. They fell off in 2022. And then a new wave of creators started coming in because they realized content creating is different. TikTok was around. Instagram is blowing up in a different kind of way. It's not just pictures anymore. But it's more brand deals. Like people just have more technology and information, and iPhones are getting better and all that stuff. We are still to this day realizing that we've been around since 2020, but a white straight man can come around, say the same thing as us, and get more invitations, get more money, get more brand deals, get more fans, just because they look different, saying something that we've already said years ago.
Yeah.
So we realized, like, okay, we have to make a name. Like, we have to, like, force the door open in general. So it's like, I don't know if you're religious or not, if you are, or if you believe in, like, the universe in general. God helps those who helps themselves.
Yeah.
So what we do is literally keep pushing, keep going, and also don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Because yes, we got pretty far because people were caring about DEI in 2020, but we got more people because they loved our personalities, they loved our talks, they loved our point of views, they loved our memes, they loved the way that we thought, so they loved our dynamic. So we're like, we just have to keep doing what we're doing, and while we're doing that, it'll come to you. Doors literally open if you are just doing what, like, it doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be like, let's just say you want to be like an art curator, I say get a job literally in the gift shop of the museum.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do whatever you want to do. Go to the lowest part of the totem pole, and you're setting that intention and you're putting that out there, and it will literally help and come to you. Another thing.
Okay, but let me stop you there, because I loved what you said. Like, you could afford jobs for $4 an article because you had a safety. You were a Nepo baby. Sorry, you were, a ghetto Nepo baby.
Yeah.
You were safe in that ghetto. Yeah. But a lot of girls, women who listen to this podcast are like, Kaya, Anusha, I don't have a mom or family like you. I cannot get this job in this, in like the lowest of the totem pole in a museum shop because I have to make rent. So what do we say that to them? Because I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Like, you open doors, with your mind. I believe in that. But you need like some kind of
solid
piece or yeah. So
something solid.
Yeah.
So I want to be very clear. Like, we grew up, food stamps, Section 8, all that stuff. Still not even like fully a full-time influencer. I'm just in a better place by myself. What I would say is, my solid advice is, when you are not working to survive, take any kind of free time that you have to work on whatever it is that you're passionate about.
Yeah. So for instance, you work a job to make rent 4 or 5 days a week. Volunteer, whatever you do, volunteer at the museum. Even if it's 1 day a week, right? Volunteer on Sunday because you love art and that's what you want to do.
But this is my thing. Even when I was younger, because I needed to afford a better like my first laptop, I could not afford a laptop. I got my first laptop from a Make-A-Wish foundation. I was a Make-A-Wish kid because that's how sick I am. So I got my first laptop from my Make-A-Wish foundation, which was literally a shopping spree. And it's crazy because it's like, we're taking this kid who's going to die soon. And I'm like, I'm going on a shopping spree. But I got my first laptop and I was just like, not even realizing that, like, oh, that's what Make-A-Wish is for. But anyways, so if you have connection to the internet, it does not have to be a laptop. It does not have to be an iPad. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you have connection to the internet, you can literally put yourself in a space where, like, whatever you find out what it is you're passionate about, and go on the internet and you meet other people through the internet.
Yeah.
And if you don't have, the money for a laptop or a computer or even like a fancy phone, if you're on an Android and you're like, it's too slow, I can't do it, go to the library. I am such a big advocate for the library. Shout out to Michael, the librarian.
Yes.
He is, oh
Love
my
him.
God, I can cry over him.
Yeah, I
Go
cry.
to the library and you get resources from other people,
Yeah.
the librarians, but also you are there to read books. You are there to also use their computers,
Yeah.
and you find different communities.
Yeah.
And the way that you find communities is a way that someone will be like, oh, you might not have it, but we've become friends and you help me with this, so I can help you with
Yeah.
that.
And that is so interesting what you say, because I notice it so much. Like with my daughter, she goes to the city college, and those kids there, they're such hard workers who expect they should find out everything themselves. And when I explain to them, well, how do you think rich people do it? Through connections. It's
Connection.
completely normal that you get like favors from, and we as people of color or first generation or whatever you want to call it,
We need
we're
more.
yeah, we so used to like fighting and just being thrown in the water and swimming ourselves. And I try to teach them no, because just
Yeah.
like you, I had a lot of proximity to whiteness, and I've seen the white audacity. It's all about connections. You still have to prove yourself when you get the job, but I'll write a letter for you. And yeah, just say that
Exactly.
it's that, and that we're really being brainwashed by that whole bootstraps mentality, as if white people do everything themselves. No, look at rich
Yes.
people. Look how they always fuck the system, have like all these ways of siphoning money and connecting each other. And women, and especially black women, we have to be more bold. And look, yeah, I'm so happy that you're saying don't be ashamed or whatever it is. It's ridiculous.
Get help
Ask.
any way you can. It's literally because like that's why I'm not trying to tell people don't go to college. I'm just saying it's not always about what you know, it's about who you know. In every single situation that I have been in,
Yeah.
it has been about who you know.
And I'm from the Netherlands, so we're very stingy. So there was no way I was going to pay 60 or 80,000 a year, or let my daughter have like these huge loans for 500,000. Yeah, if you want to be like a surgeon or something,
That's
or
worth it.
maybe
That's different.
okay, right? But
Yeah.
not if you want to be a filmmaker. So I found a film program which is relatively very cheap and has a beautiful, they want, and I was like, if you want to be a filmmaker, I guess NYU is amazing if you can afford it. But what if, Spike Lee doesn't like you or like someone else? Then you have a huge debt, right? Not
Right.
everybody's Nia da Costa.
But I cannot also stress the power of the internet and social media enough. Like I
Yes.
would not be here without social media in general. I was always on my phone, and I was always like, I used to be like a gamer. Then I went to the phone, and then I was addicted to the phone. But the power of the internet will take you places that you could not even imagine. The only
No.
reason that I am where I am now is because we picked up the phone and said, "Hey, girl, let's do this podcast." And I was like, all right, why not? We're bored. No one cares. I had to stay home.
So
So
you and Aaron just started at home with your laptop and didn't even edit, right? I think you did just
no, we
like
just put it out. We didn't know what we were doing. And people were like, we love this. And we were like, you sound terrible, but we love this.
I
So
remember the sound quality. I remember and I would often listen like in the gym or cooking, and then with my ear, and I'm like, oh my god, this.
the sound quality at times it's still horrible because I got independent again. But it's better now. You have to start somewhere.
Yeah,
It does not matter. And another thing I want people to know is also take advantage of the free resources that your city
yeah,
offers you,
yeah,
because there
yeah,
is, like, let's just say that you decided I want to, whether it's a small business on the side or your side hustle, or it's something that you want to work towards. The Small Business Association has a program where they will hook you up with a mentor that will start from the very beginning to the very end. They will tell you the first thing that you need is a business plan. They will tell you how to go about getting a business plan.
yeah,
Now, this is before the age of Chat GPT when I first went there. But now that we're in the age of Chat GPT, don't use it. Use Google. It's terrible for the environment. But listen, if you need to, I understand. We have to do what we have to do,
I mean,
right?
black women are
Especially
allowed everything. I'm sorry, as my friend
exactly
always says, black women are allowed to do anything.
because we
We
did
can,
our jobs.
yeah,
Okay,
we
we
don't
suffered
have to
enough.
recycle. We can eat meat. Come on,
We
because we're
suffered
black.
enough. Okay, go on ChatGPT, get your business plan together, go right back to the Small Business Association. They will assign you a mentor. Your mentor will tell you what they have done. These are people who are just bored and they want to help people start businesses, and it's a free program.
Yeah, dear listeners, we'll put everything in the show notes, and please
Yeah, I'll see you. They'll
subscribe to
hold
my
your hand.
newsletter, my free newsletter, because that's I give all the information, and Kaya's gonna help me with all this amazing information. Okay, Kaya, back to you. So you're independent now again, you and Aaron. Aaron is working also a big boy job, but you are like full force on the pot. Tell me about that transition and why is it working? Because it is working.
Yeah, I think it worked because I decided that I don't care about looking dumb anymore. And I know that you guys are like, but wait, if you scroll down my timeline, it's just joke after joke after joke after joke after joke. But really, like, I'm like, oh my God, like, what about if I put something out and it flops? You can't think like that.
Yeah.
So I stopped thinking like that. And then I also decided to be independent. And it's super, super scary, but you weigh the pros and the cons.
Because
And
before you were with like a podcast network, right?
I was with two different podcast
And
networks.
what did they offer that was beneficial?
The first one, I will say, they offered a lot of brand, like not brand deals, but like like ads. They help
Yeah.
with the ads,
And that
which
so that was good, right?
that was good. But we left because we wanted more support with editing and a network and connecting with people, stuff like that. And no tea, no shade. We're still cool with our last network, but we were doing everything pretty much other than editing. That's pretty much it. They would edit for us, but we made our own connections. We literally did our own promo. We were bigger than what they could offer, and they're very nice, and they helped us realize that. And I think they helped us. I think we went there, and we had to go through that to realize that we don't need a network unless we need someone to help us with like ads or something like that.
So but did you keep the ads then now? So you have ads.
No, so I started from scratch. I have no like I have nothing, but I hit up this one dude and he helps out with ads, and now I'm doing like a little partnership with Row.co for the podcast. But my thing is social media. Like I love the podcast because I feel like that's where I can get my thoughts out and just talk about shows and stuff like that. But where I really thrive at is
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
And with social media, the ads or the partnerships, the brand deals, they come to me. The podcast is more like a hobby, whereas the social media is more like a business.
So
And
how are you making money now on social media?
brands come to me and they want to do sponsorships with me. So
Yes,
that's much
amazing.
amazing. And I won't say that like being on our last network held us back, but I think that when we left, a lot more people reached out to us, and it wasn't because of them. It was more of the universe, like God saying, "Let this go, because I have
Yeah.
so much more planned for you. But if you take it now, you're gonna have to pay a portion of what you get to the
Then
company."
yeah. And now because you were at BravoCon, did
Yeah.
all those steps you made, like now being at BravoCon, interviewing people, that because you went independent?
No, it's because that's just what we kind of like do. I was at the first two Bravo, well, not the first, the very first BravoCon I was not at. The second one in New York, I was at that one because we just have a good relationship with the network in general. And then the third one is the one where Aaron went, and that was the first one in Vegas. And then the fourth one overall, but my third one was in Vegas. Bravo reached out to us.
To you specifically, so not through your agency or whatever. No,
No,
just to you. Wow.
yes. And that's what I want to tell people also. That's why I'm saying keep doing whatever it is you're doing,
Yeah.
because I'm posting things and I'm talking about things and I'm thinking that I'm just doing my podcast, I'm just posting my social media stuff, But in reality, you never know who's watching. It does not matter if you have 600 followers or 600,000 followers.
Yeah.
I'm in the room, when I'm in the room with other people, I'm in the room with people who have millions of followers. They have, like, brand deal after brand deal. They have podcasts. They've interviewed all these amazing people, and I'm here like just someone who just loves Bravo, and I'm in that same room, and you just
Yeah.
don't know who's watching. You get the
Yeah.
attention of either networks, you get the attention of someone, like, the perfect example is, it doesn't even matter if a brand spots you. You have to understand that people who run the brand social media can pass along your information and say, this is my favorite person to follow. I think that she'd be good to run sponsorships with. And that's like some of the things that have happened with me. Like, you never know who's watching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and I love you on social media. You're amazing. Yeah. I wanna, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want to talk a little bit of pop culture before we say bye bye for now. I hope you'll become my friend. I'm gonna force you
Well,
to
I
become
thought we were
my
already friends, but
friend. Good, 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 good.
glad to be official.
For
Like,
your auntie at least. But little pop culture. Okay, I want to talk to you about Monique Samuels. So
yes.
I've been watching. I don't know if you've been watching Ryan Murphy, Jacqueline Bissett Kennedy, that the love story.
I haven't gotten into that because I'm watching Ryan Murphy's The Beauty, and it's so funny because everyone is talking about either the Kim Kardashian show or the JFK show, and
Yeah.
then meanwhile I'm watching The Beauty, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm
Yeah.
like,
What's
"Oh
that?
my god, it's Ryan Murphy! It's on Hulu. It comes on every Tuesday. Evan Peters is on it. Yes." And it's literally like, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, The Substance, with Demi Moore.
Yeah.
I can talk all day about like
Yeah.
aesthetic and women and
Yeah.
like society, but it's basically a show similar to that. So what The Beauty is like, you get a shot and you become beautiful, and it takes away your disease. It takes away
Oh wow.
like, it makes you like physically attractive. It makes you have like abs, body that you've always dreamed of, whatever. But it has side effects. It literally explode
Oh.
in true
Okay.
Ryan Murphy style.
Okay. So we have to watch it. But okay. So I lived in the 90s in New York at the time of Jacqueline Bissett and Kennedy. I studied acting and directing in New York City, and I'm reading the book now that the show is based on, and he literally sucked her kind of dry. He was literally an energy vampire. He was a very spoiled, handsome, gorgeous man who was mommy's favorite beautiful son. His sister adored him. And then he found this really beautiful, amazing, hardworking, cool in girl who loves everyone, who was like a good friend. And he actually sucked the life out of her. My theory is that is what happened to Monique Samuels. That when she married that guy,
Yep.
that football player who was
Yep.
a big, spoiled, overweight child, and his
Yeah.
mom called her a heifer because she was from like a neighborhood or
Do you
whatever.
remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. He like literally took the life out of her.
And she even said it, and that's why she was kind of. I don't know if she's deflecting on Angel, because I do kind of see it in Angel a little bit, but I don't want to get ate up. Um, I see it. I saw it from the beginning because she
Yes.
was always trying to present. No, everything is perfect. No, everything is
Yeah.
perfect. We have 4 houses. No, I love my husband. No, I love my kids. Oh no, please, please. And I think that like that whole rumor thing about, well, first of all, it was disgusting, but also it wasn't necessarily just because that's a disgusting thing to say about my child. My child is not my husband's child, but it's also Chris's ego could not handle that.
No.
And like, she's working out with a beautiful trainer, a fine trainer. So it's really what it did to him.
Is that
And
why they got divorced?
that's not why they got divorced, but it caused a rift in their marriage.
But it is
When
his
they,
child, right? It is his child.
it is his child, but it doesn't matter, because when you are with someone who is insecure about
Yeah.
themselves, they will do anything to make you feel like you are in the wrong.
He was forcing. He wanted a third child. She was so happy with 2 children. She wanted to work for herself or do something, and he pushed her to have that third baby.
Exactly, and he did that because he didn't want her to go on her own, to succeed on her own, to be her own
Yeah.
person, and that's what a lot of men. You guys know before. Listen, if you're listening to this and you do not listen to my podcast, I'm a number one man hater. Okay,
Yeah. No,
no
no,
offense.
that's me. That's me.
I might be a number two man hater. But I am a man hater. These men will literally suck the life out of you. And I learned that at a young age because I have two older brothers and I saw the way that they moved. And although I love them for teaching me the game, they made me jaded.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
do that. But
I
okay,
swear
so
that's why I always tell my husband that's why I married a white man so I can use him and he's happy with it.
they're happy to be. He is exactly where he wants to be.
Right? So
I mean, but look at you also. Like, please.
that's what no, but that's why I tell every black woman, marry a European white guy. Your life will be fantastic. Northern European white men, they are so spoiled and they are so giving because they have everything. So they'll give you. They'll give.
Listen, I literally said that I was supposed to get married the year before last, but then a lot of things happened. I didn't have anyone to marry. I just said that I set
Oh,
the
yeah,
intention.
I remember that you set that out. Yeah,
I
yeah.
set the intention.
I think I even DM'd you. Go to Europe. Find a tall
about to
Swedish
say,
guy.
hook me up. I'm
Okay,
ready.
we'll talk. We
We'll-
need to do another show. We need to
Thank
do
you.
another episode.
Thank you. Perfect. So, they went on a different show, Love and Marriage DC,
Yeah, yeah.
with Carlos King.
And you interviewed him. One of my
saw-
best episodes ever. You and Aaron talking to Carlos King. What an
Thank you.
episode.
So that was literally a dream come true. That's why now, that's another thing that made me feel like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, you can't tell me anything. That's our Andy Cohen. You know that.
I
girl.
know it's already
Like,
yeah. And that and you
sorry.
the show, and you guys did an amazing job. Yeah.
So I saw Love and Marriage DC, and I completely saw that they were like, they had this argument at a table. I don't know if you guys remember that episode, but they had an argument at the dinner table, and like she tried to make it seem like, no, me and Chris are okay,
Yeah.
and then they left the show.
Yeah.
So it was definitely him.
But did she speak out about the marriage, why it failed? Has she spoken up on it on Potomac? No, right?
She talked about like why they divorced. Yeah.
Oh, so tell me, because I didn't watch this season of Potomac yet, but so I love binging.
It's good.
Yes, I just want to binge. So tell me, what did she say about the marriage?
Exactly what we were talking about how he was sucking the life out of her, about how he was insecure, about how he treated her like nothing but a baby maker. He can pretty much do whatever he wants, but she can't do what she wants, and how she was literally just trying to create a perfect life, which was not the truth.
No, yeah, I knew it. Okay, before we end, and we're gonna do more. I want you back in my little podcast if you don't mind.
And you got to come back. Well, no, you got to come on mine for the first time because I need a man. I'm serious.
Yes, no,
After the
I'm
summer.
coming on your show and I'll teach every black woman what
Because
to do.
I got tea. Wait, when does this episode come out?
Next week,
Next week, what day?
Thursday.
I got tea. By the time this episode comes out,
Yeah.
I should have some new boobies.
Oh my god! I love it. Okay, so
Exclusive.
but I will come on your show because I want to teach black women how to find rich white European men.
Please.
Yeah, I will.
Please.
Yes, I will. I'll do that on your show. So
It's going to be so fun.
speaking.
I'm a lover of black love, though, like in
Yeah,
general.
yeah. No.
But I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Great.
I don't
If you-
care what man you hook me up with.
No, great, but black women deserve everything. They deserve the world. Because speaking of that, the only white guy in America that I like, Nick from Molandria.
Yes.
Tell me, is it true? Because you said in episodes, I want your analysis of Nick. Because you said, I know these type of guys. But you never finished the whole story. So tell me, what kind of guy is Nick? Is it all true? Because you're from that area. And
Fort Lauderdale. He's in like local ads. It's so funny because you see him in like Boca Raton, which is like a few hours, not even hours, a few minutes away from like North Broward. You see him in like local newspapers and organizations, and I love Nick, and I don't think that this is for show, like at all.
No.
I don't really even think that, like, I think that literally he found his soulmate, but Olandria might. Ooh, Nicolandria fans are scary. I think that
Careful. I'm a
she's
Nick.
being treated. She's being treated exactly how she should be treated
Yes.
by Nick.
Yeah. I mean, and it was, I saw it from the moment they laid eyes on each other, how he like immediately fell for her.
And
Like,
she didn't know. She had no idea because black women are conditioned and beat down to think that white men, especially, do not want them, do not desire them, they're not good enough for them. They don't. When, what was the first interracial marriage in America? There's a whole movie, Loving, a
yeah.
black woman and a white
White
man.
man. Yeah. Yeah. In the deep South when it was
In the deep south, he
illegal.
was ready to die about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nick is exactly where he wants to be. And I don't know, like when I say I know about him, I have heard some things about not him like cheating or anything. It's just more of him being like, I'm Nick from Nicolandria, like you should know who I am. And that's just kind of how, he's young, he's
Yeah.
cocky, he's beautiful.
Yeah. He's going to be 25. Yeah. He's a baby. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not a bad thing, like, at all. But I think that they are together for real, but also they are together for business, and I think that they should stay together like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, he adores her. It's clear. They definitely have serious. I mean, I have a sixth sense. I can always tell if people have chemistry, and I've been right. I mean, in my life, always right about people having affairs. I can always tell when people are fucking. I see it, and I've said that at parties to my husband, dinner parties. I'm always like, oh yeah, and I'm always right. So I tell you, their chemistry, that is completely real. Does that mean that they will grow old together? We don't know because a lot happens in life, right? But what we
Exactly.
see right now is 100% real. I mean, he completely adores her and she adores him too. They're
I
great.
think that she is in a perfect position, though, of where she's with him, she adores him,
Yeah.
but she'll be okay without him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I feel like is he's with her, he's completely head over heels
Head over
for
heels.
her. But if something were to happen, he'll still get jobs, and like, he will be okay because he is a white man.
Yeah.
But he will, unless he goes with another black girl, he will never be happy again. Like, he is more in love with her than she is with him. And that's how I always feel like it needs to be for women.
That's the way it should be. That's
Always
why do you
find
think I've been married for 26 years because of that principle.
exactly. I feel like everyone should be in love with you, though. Like,
Sorry?
that's just I feel like everyone should be in love with you. But like,
With
that
all
is
of us and with you, with us, with black, no, with black women. And I swear, and that's why, yeah, I'll come. I don't want to speak too much on it on my serious show where we talk about blackness, but on
yeah.
your show, I will
I'm a
choose
yapper.
women. Yeah, because I know.
I'm so glad that you asked me on. I will just leave you with this. If you have nothing but a cell phone, figure out what it is that you are passionate about.
Yes.
Use your free resources and have a plan. Either go to the Small Business Administration and have a mentor, or what you can do is get something adjacent to where you want to be.
Yeah.
And also look up it's a website called Meetup. There's a bunch of different websites where you can meet different people, because so many times in life it is not what you know, it's who you know, and you can meet someone who can change your life just by being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, 100% agree. And it's, we are not taught that, but preparation meeting opportunity means you are prepared because black women are always prepared. You got to go out there. You got to meet people. You should not be afraid. Advocate for yourself. I'm gonna connect with Kaya to make sure I put lots of great resources in a newsletter, because it's just a question of getting that, finding out about the possibilities that there are, and
Yes.
using your free time in a way that how do you say that
You get
excites
use
you.
what is Lisa Ray? You gotta use what you got to get what you want,
Yeah.
and not sexually, I'm talking about like if you have nothing but a phone, just go online and you can literally meet someone who can change your life.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to make like I'm the queen of side hustles too. I do luxury shopping. I sell my old clothes on Poshmark sometimes. I do like the Amazon influencing thing. There are so many ways to make money online. If making money is the main thing, just so you can even buy a phone, sell your old clothes. Go thrifting.
Yeah.
Like, go on Amazon. You can be an Amazon influencer with no followers.
Yeah,
like, there's so many different ways to make money. Figure that out, and then find a community, and you will be okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kaya. I love you. I'm
I
a
love
fan.
you.
I literally found you by Googling, Bravo, talk show, fun, reality, black. And I found you. Thank you. So that's how I found you. So girls, we can do it. We need our own community and we're building it. We're building it because all the women I'm interviewing, I'm going to, pester all of you and we're going to start our own community.
Absolutely.
Kaya,
Thank you for having me on. I love you so much. I'm going to have you on. And, well, you guys, I mean, not the next time, maybe the next 4 times I'm on here, I'll probably be in a relationship with someone that you hooked me up with.
A cute, Northern European, tall, whatever kind of guy.
I gotta have a good summer and I'll have new boobies.
Yeah, and you have new boobies.
I'll have new boobies. I'm supposed to get my surgery next week. So that's
okay, Kaya, where can people follow you? I'm gonna put it in the newsletter too, but if people are listening, where do you want them to follow you?
At Bravo While Black everywhere. The podcast is called Bravo We're Black because I wanted to switch from just talking about Bravo to celebrating, like Bravo, We're Black.
Yes.
So at Bravo While Black, especially on Threads, I will likely answer you more on Threads. It's also Aaron that's on there, so you'll either be talking to me or Aaron or just me or Aaron. And thank you so much for inviting me. I love you. I love you guys. Use your resources, and thank you for having this platform. And Black women, do whatever you want.
Yeah. Do whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yes, and reach out to us. We'll support you. Thank you. I love you.